This D&D one-shot just held that essence of D&D. It was just so stupid. I was playing with 8 of my 10-year-old brother's friends.
Hello.
Yes, hello. The adventurers had made their way to the goblinoid city of Bloatspire. The city was based in a swamp, and it was slowly sinking into the ground. To combat this, the goblins just kept on making higher towers. The place was so shoddily built that towers would just collapse every so often. They're goblins, not architects. We've been summoned here by the Goblin King, King Flobulus. So the players start climbing the towers of Bloatspire. The first room we enter is full of screaming, crying baby goblins and one half-orc woman who is trying her hardest to keep them calm and is getting, chewed on by all these little beasts. The party just kind of walks through the orphanage, except for my brother, who picks a wailing goblin baby up. And it speaks. It speaks in the most un-baby goblin-like voice I have ever heard.
Father, adopt me.
Understandably, my brother gets a huge fright and just yeets it out of the window, and it lands with a faint thud on the ground. While the rest of the party move on, my brother feels a little bad, so he decides to go back down the tower and try to help the baby goblin. Well, baby goblin pancake. There seems to be no hope, but then he gets a nat 20 on his medicine check and scrapes it off the ground with a paint spreader and puts it back together again. The goblin speaks again.
I love you, Father. Adopt me, please.
So he adopts him and calls him Gary. We climb to the top of Bloatspire, where the king's throne room is balanced precariously on the top of the tallest tower. King Flabulus is very fat. His folds of fat droop over the sides of the chair where he resides. He seems to have never moved off it. 4 burly bugbear guards stand menacingly in the corners. His royal flabulousness starts to speak. Goblins are seen as an uncivilized evil race. I, King Flabulus, will change the world's view of goblins. But I need the help of outsiders. Will you become my advisors? I will pay you handsomely. He flicks his wrist, and a goblin servant takes a tarp off a medium-sized pile of copper coins.
I stab him.
What? Chaos reigns. The adventurers manage to kill the king, but then the campaign seems to split in two. Half of the kids want to kill Gary for some reason, and half of the kids want to help us defend him. Everything seems to be as under control as a fight can get, until someone casts Fireball in a wooden city full of goblins? 10-year-olds, am I right? Fire starts to spread across the drawbridges and houses. The Help Gary party decides to escape, and I stay behind to protect them from the other half of the party who is pursuing us.
I will sacrifice my life for the greater Gary.
I die in glorious battle and manage to give our Gary party time to get away. The rest die in the fire, and Bloatspire burns down. My brother raised Gary, and Gary became an adventurer, travelling around the world and spreading good word about goblins. So, in the end, King Flobulus seemed to get his wish. Very wholesome story. Yeah.